Hello everybody, welcome to part 3 of Sonic Advance, and we are now in Angel Island Zone. That means we're back on Knuckles' home turf. Why are we there? I don't know, I guess Eggman's up to no good here too. And we're going to be playing each of the acts with different characters from now on, because there's literally 2 zones left in the game, folks. We got Angel Island and then one more, and then it's the final Eggman boss fight. So I just figured I'd split all the acts so that each character got their fair share, and then everyone would have played 3 levels in the entire game. I think that's fair. Although people who are missing Sonic will be disappointed to know there's no Sonic in this video. Again. But, hey, Tails is awesome, he can fly, so whatever. This level kind of reminds me so much of Sky Sanctuary Zone, but with the whole ancient ruins, palace-y, in the sky kind of feeling that it's got going on. It is Angel Island after all, but, you know. I just like the little modern throwback. It's fun seeing what environments look like in the Sonic Advance series, and that animal I just burst out of that Badnik Felder's death. Oh god. This area has a whole bunch of pulleys that can transport a character higher up the rope. It has windstorms to blow your character all over the place. It even has those Metropolis type of run along the wheel and then it takes you to a certain destination kind of contraptions, you know? Like, they're not cogs like they were in Metropolis Zone, but they're basically rotating wheels, and you gotta dodge boulders and stuff. It's just an ancient ruin paradise, I guess. Knuckles is protecting the Master Emerald, after all, so of course this place is filled with all kinds of traps. Although Knuckles has to go through them himself if he's playing this game. I don't know. You even got the Sandopolis sand, like, waterfall things that you can jump up. It's all hunky-dory. So what, in my opinion, makes Sonic Advance 1 better than Sonic Advance 2 and 3? Again, I'll be elaborating when I get into those LPs, because I will be doing Sonic Advance 2 and 3 later. 3 much later, 2 will be next, but, the reason I like Sonic Advance 1 over 2 and 3 is simple. It's not as speed-heavy, it's not so boost-heavy, and it's not so reliant on, you know, crazy tricks and gimmicks. It's just, this feels like an old Genesis Sonic game would feel, you know? I don't understand people who say it's too slow. You know, this is exactly the speed of the Genesis games. You're saying the Genesis games are too slow if you think this game is too slow. It has fine platforming, it has, really great musical tracks. I love Ice Mountain's theme. I like Casino Paradise's theme. A certain level that isn't in this video but will be in the next video has another awesome theme song. I really like the soundtrack of this game a lot. I love that when you open the game, when you buy Sonic Advance and you put it into your Game Boy Advance, right off the bat, you get to choose from the 4 characters. It expands on what Sonic 3 and Knuckles had, you know? Every game improved on the formula. Sonic 1 had Sonic. Sonic 2 had Sonic and Tails. Sonic 3 had Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. And then we get to Sonic Advance, the game I consider the real Sonic 4. And we got Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy. You know, it just improves on the formula, which is always swell. Sonic Advance 2 kinda did that. Like, it improved how many playable characters there were. But, again, we'll get to that when we get to it. But, you know, it just improves on the formula. It builds on what Sonic 3 and Knuckles had established. And it's not as great as the Genesis games, you know. I'll rather play Sonic 2 over Sonic Advance. I'd rather play Sonic 3 and Knuckles over Sonic Advance. But you know what? I would play Sonic Advance over Sonic 1. I think it's a decent game. It's got plenty of playable characters. It has great music. It's just a nice handheld Sonic game that if you're on the go, if you're just going to school or on the bus or something, I imagine back in 2002 this was a great game to have in your pocket. I like Sonic Advance a lot. Oh, that's another thing I liked about Sonic Advance. They brought back, like, the traditional Sonic theme song. Like, when I'm in invincibility mode here, it's got that traditional da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You know, Sonic Advance 2 and 3 don't have that. And to me, when I think of classic Sonic, I actually think he has a theme song. I always think of this theme song. Even the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog TV show figured this out, you know? When you think of Sonic the Hedgehog, you tend to think of that song. Da 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 da. You know? To me, when I think of a classic Sonic game, when I think of the old school Sonic days, that song always goes in my head, because it was always in all the old games. It's so hyper energy, it's so like, oh, Sonic's going fast, you know? I love that theme song to death, it's the best fucking thing. Now we're at the sixth special stage. And this is when the special stages start getting harder. Honestly, the only one I have a real big issue with is Special Stage 7, because go figure, every time there's a Special Stage 7, it's always the most unbearable fucking special stage in the whole goddamn game. Oh, Sonic Team, you know how to push my buttons, but we'll get to that when we get to it. But, again, this special stage is just another version of the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 special stage. It's just tunnels, you know, watch out for bombs, collect rings, have enough rings when you get to the checkpoint. It's a traditional formula, but with the snowboard thing, and you have to be like pretty exact on where you move your character to get the rings. But I likes it, you know. I like that any of the characters can do it. Oh, that's another thing. Sonic Advance 1 keeps track of all the Chaos Emeralds, and it doesn't matter which character gets all the Chaos Emeralds. If you could get all the Chaos Emeralds with Tails, and you could still unlock the final area with Super Sonic, because, you know, you just keep track of those Chaos Emeralds, and once you've gotten it, it's there for good. You don't have to collect it with the other characters. You collect all the Chaos Emeralds with Tails, Sonic has them too. You collect all the Chaos Emeralds with Amy, Sonic has them too. You don't have to collect all 7 Chaos Emeralds for each character, you know? You only have to collect them with one character. And I like that in a way, you know? Sure, it might take away some of the replayability and stuff, but honestly, Sonic Advance 2 did not bring that back. They made it so you needed to collect the Chaos Emeralds with every character, and well, it was tedious to do when I was making the Sonic Advance 2 LP, because I got that editing right now too. So yeah, when Knuckles gets the 6th Chaos Emerald, you never have to get the 6th Chaos Emerald ever again, because you've gotten it. The end. Just figured I'd mention that, because that's a weird little detail. You only have to get the 7 emeralds once, and then never again. And now we're coming up to the boss of Angel Island, and he's pretty familiar. You might recognize him right away. It's Knuckles? You idiot? No, wait, this can't be Knuckles. I'm Knuckles. No matter which character you are when you get to the end of Angel Island, it will always be Knuckles, but his colors will always be a little bit off. He has yellow gloves, he has a bit of a pinkish hue, and when you hit him 4 times, oh my god, it's Metal Knuckles! Or Mecha Knuckles, or whatever the fuck he is. And how in the hell is he shooting those missiles, by the way? He shoots multiple missiles out of his body, but these missiles are bigger than him. How are you creating these missiles? This makes no sense. As for the Mecha Knuckles boss fight, he is pretty much the same prototypical Knuckles fight that we've seen in the classic games. You can't spin dash into him from the front. He'll occasionally glide, and you have to hit him from behind when he glides, because the glide will hurt you. The only difference is when you hit him 4 times, he starts spamming missiles in his mecha form. But otherwise, it's pretty much the same Knuckles fight you remember from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. It might be a little bit faster, but I think we're all used to that guy by now. Anywho, folks, time to revisit Amy in the Egg Rocket! Yeah, the Egg Rocket Zone. Egg Rocket Zone is one of the longest acts in the game. It's probably the longest zone in the game. And it actually has a time limit this time around. Basically, as soon as you enter the compartment, your timer goes from 16 seconds to, now it's counting down from 5 minutes. If you do not get through this area in 5 minutes, the rocket, I guess, breaks apart and takes off without you, and it's considered a death. You do not move on. So you have to get to the other side of the rocket in 5 minutes, so it has a time limit this time around. And really, the platforming in this level is pretty tough. It's pretty tricky. There's lots of springs you have to take advantage of. There's lots of poles you have to climb and sidle to get from point A to point B. Some of the enemies in this area are fucking atrociously annoying. I mean, this is the final zone in the game, folks, so they brought the worst badniks for last. And they got the enemies who are diamonds. They turn into diamonds, and you can't hurt them ever. Like, Amy can't hit them with her hammer. Knuckles can't glide into them. there's nothing you can do, but then they open up and shoot a laser at you, and you can only hit them when they've opened up. Those assholes are annoying. A lot of the enemy placement, honestly, is fucking annoying. If there's anything I don't like about the Advanced series over the Genesis games, is that sometimes the enemy placement is absolute bullshit, and they just love to put them right where springs are. Like, you'll bounce from a spring, and then you'll just run right into an enemy, and that's always annoying. It does that in all 3 Advanced titles, and honestly, I think, I have nothing against Dimps, the people who made Sonic Advance 1, 2, and 3, and Sonic the Hedgehog 4, and whatever. But sometimes their level design could be better. So I just made it to the second half of the rocket, and now you'll see my 337 turns into 5 minutes again, because, once again, timer's restarted. I gotta get to the top of the rocket before it takes off. Eggman's blasting off into outer space, don't you know? Because he loves outer space. He doesn't figure Sonic will reach him there, even though Sonic has always reached him there. Again, though, Amy Rose is a pretty useful, unique character, and damn it, bottomless pit! Hey. But Amy Rose is an alright character. You know, again, you just gotta keep in mind that you can't jump into enemies, you have to hit them with your hammer. But she's alright. I like that she has great range. I like that she jumps higher than the other characters. I like that her hammer can really reach enemies that are out of her reach, really. Like, if an enemy is... You don't have to get right up close to an enemy to destroy them, you know? I like that. I think it's unique. My cousin seems to love Amy Rose. He wants Amy Rose to be in every Sonic game. He thinks that gameplay style should be in every Sonic game. I don't know why, but I guess my cousin has a hard-on for Amy. Not like a furry, cartoony hard-on. I just mean gameplay-wise. I don't think he likes anthropomorphic animals much, or dressing up like an anthropomorphic animal, or whatever. Although, that would be quite the shocking plot twist in this game we call life. But again, pushing down in the attack button lets Amy do that super high, fucking awesome jump, which helped me reach that platform right there. It's awesome, I like that. Again, this whole platforming section is really tough. This is where the platforming really comes into play, and you got spinning barrels with spikes on them, you got bottomless pits, you got enemies who you spring into because the game designers don't figure that, oh, that's a good idea. Oh, and plenty of spike placements too. Right at the bottom is slanted slopes, so you have to jump into them because the slopes got you leaning downwards and you... Yeah. I don't want to say the level design is bad, but it's certainly tricky, and you're gonna get hit a lot throughout this level. Still like that Amy gets sent farther than all the other characters when she hits a spring with her hammer. Again, it can save you so much time and effort. It can make you have so many shortcuts when you do that. I love that feature. And our 239 turns into another 5 minutes. And we've finally left the Earth's atmosphere, and we are now in outer space. Hooray! Because Eggman loves space. Hey, I think I saw Wheatley back there. I still don't understand why they didn't make Super Sonic, though. This is the perfect opportunity to introduce Super Amy. Just think about that for a minute. Amy with yellow flowing hair, her going, "Ah!" and clenching her fists like a Super Saiyan. How fucked up would that have been? And by fucked up, I mean awesome! Right? I mean, I know Tails doesn't turn super when he gets all the Chaos Emeralds, so maybe Sonic and Knuckles would be the only characters, but still. You made a 2D platformer Sonic game, how do you not include Super Sonic? That just doesn't make sense to me. It's incompatible. Did you not play the old games? That was the whole joy of getting the Chaos Emeralds. It wasn't the Doomsday Zone in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, it was becoming Super motherfucking Sonic. And making the game freaking easy and just blowing through these enemies like it was nobody's business. But I digress. I hate those spikes. I hate those spikes that are always hiding and then they pop up when you're least expecting it. They're in every Sonic game, but they're always annoying, you know? You're just standing there being like, dum-da-dum-da-dum, and oh, surprise, motherfucking spike! Damn you, Eggman. Mega Man, if Mega Man was fighting Eggman, his ass would be so dead. Him and Simon Belmont would have no chance against Dr. Eggman. They'd be fucked the minute they entered the egg rocket. Now this part's awkward. You have to actually jump at the slope so that you can get caught up with the wind fans because there's really no realistic way to reach the platforms. Unless I'm missing something, but either way I can get through with all 4 characters, no problem. So that's Egg Rocket, folks. We're now going to move on to the next and final zone in Part 4. And we'll be finally rejoining Sonic, you know, the main character of this series. So, see you then.